Alrighty then. Okay, looks like there's a bit of a lag here. Or maybe not. I think it's, well, well, that didn't really help. Alright, you know what? I am not sure. Okay, I guess this is... right, so I guess this sounds better. Still a little bit scratchy, but this sounds decent, I think. Alright, so anyway, let me turn this down. So welcome. I am kind of just getting stuff together over here and just trying to troubleshoot a few things. So, alright, I think I can go ahead and cut this off. And alrighty. So, hello. So, I pretty much am serious about what I had put up. I don't have a set plan. I was thinking of doing something kind of random. Like, I don't know, maybe play a game. But I need to kind of get a list of the games and put them onto something where I can choose them randomly. Like, I'm actually thinking of doing a spinning the wheel kind of game here. So, haven't quite decided yet. Still kind of working that part out. So at any rate, I guess the first thing I need to do is kind of find, I probably need to try finding one of those wheels or something like that, but, you know what? I probably have to close down a ton of chit. Because I've kind of got I've got a whole buttload of crap open that I probably can get rid of that I was working on a moment ago. So I didn't get a chance to really close those before stream started. It'd be nice if I could actually start testing. So, just kind of like a little bit of background and everything. I am actually working on creating a bot. So a channel bot to do some custom type redeems and everything. See, there are some cool bots that are already out there. Things like Nutty Streambot, and there's also some certain services that also let you do things like channel redeems and everything like that. However, number one, most of the bots that tie in, like Streambot and also Mix It Up, they're all PC based, and as we've kind of established, I'm on a Mac, so I don't quite get to play with the goodness. So instead, I'm kind of ending up having to make my own, because what I'd really want to do is tie things together so that I can kind of control OBS and have that tied directly into chatbot somehow, which again, those other bots, though they already have hooks in and everything, but in my purposes, since there's nothing out there that's already built for Mac to do it, I've kind of got to roll my own joint here, which not a problem. Is that a challenge? So I've been kind of putting together and working on one, and I am currently writing it in JavaScript. So at some point, I'd like to actually have it set up where I can go ahead and tie in I need to basically hook up the redeems. I need to hook up basically the redeems listener from the Twitch API and have that talk to OBS. And I already know that I can use WebSockets to connect to the Twitch API. I can also use WebSockets to connect to OBS. Fortunately, that's already built into the newest versions of OBS. So it's looking pretty promising. I just kind of need to get the authentication to work correctly. Once I get the authentication kind of tied in and working the way I want it, I think getting the rest of this is going to be fairly straightforward. So that is where that is at. So that was basically what I was working on just prior to stream. Hopefully by the next time I'll be all set up. Hey, Saren, good to see you. What up, bud? How have you been? Good to see you in chat. So glad you could stop by and hang out, because isn't it like the middle of the night for you right now? And by middle of the night, I mean kind of early morning at this point. So yeah, you know what I missed? Hey, I missed you hanging out here too, so I'm glad you could make it. Also glad that, I guess you Twitch resolved that whole issue with you not being able to be on chat and everything. So, again, good to see you here. Oh, really? Oh, wait. 10:45 a.m., I assume? Oh, the mobile authentication stuff. Gotcha. Okay, cool. So then, did you have a good night? Oh, wait, PM. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I don't know why for some reason I had you pegged that you were still in Greece somewhere. But, okay. Cool. Still, I'm glad you could make it and everything. I was going to ask you how was your night, how'd that go? But I guess, how has your day been instead? Everything getting better and everything? And I forgot. What did you say your pup's name was again? Which... It's okay, more fun that way. Cool. Understand. It's for the character. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Getting better, but the dog is getting louder. Other than that, pretty okay. That's right. You said, yeah, I remember you saying in your stream earlier that she's loud. So, yeah. Is she in earshot of the... Is she in earshot? Like, can she actually hear me or anything like that? Bella. 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 Who's a good girl, Bella? Who's a good girl? Is that you? Are you a good girl, Bella? Are you a good girl? Who's a good little girl, Bella? No problem. That's funny. So I thought it'd be actually kind of interesting to do like some kind of a sleep stream, but thinking about that would be kind of funny. Like, you know, every now and then I'll play with the pets kind of stream too. Like every once in a while, I'll just kind of pipe up with like, you know, pet names and just hang out all night. Yeah, I think it would be kind of cool. Like last night at the end, after I wound up playing Stardew Valley for a while last night, and then I think like the last like 15 minutes or so, well, what would have been the last 15 minutes or so, I actually just kind of did like a like how Zeb called it, a cast a sleep spell. Really, it was just kind of like a relaxation meditation exercise or whatever else like that. Just a not even that much. It was just kind of like a quick guided, a brief lullaby would be the best way to kind of put it, if anything. And then just kind of after that, I just let the stream and just kind of go on for another maybe 45 minutes or something. Just kind of keep continuing to play the lo-fi soundtrack and everything. Because I figured, okay, well, if everybody's already kind of dozed off and just listening and stuff, then I guess I'll just kind of leave it running for a little while longer. So, no idea if I'll do that on a regular basis. But you approve? Good to know, good to know. I mean, I am thinking of doing, like, of trying to do some kind of a sleepy time stream. So, some people who have difficulties going to sleep at night, stuff like that. Anything I can do to kind of help people doze off and go to bed and everything. Hey Zeb, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Long time no see. I would say Ohio gozaimasu, but that was earlier. You've been awake for an hour or so now. So Lumi already cast sleep on you, so you are ready to go ahead and fall back out, huh? I see. So I still haven't figured out what I would do today. I thought I might leave it up to chat or something, or that, or set up a spin the wheel kind of situation. But for right now, we're just kind of chilling and just hanging out. Real quick question. How is the sound volume? For some reason it's really low in my headphones, but let me check the monitor here. Huh. It does seem a little quieter than usual. But it's great on your end? Okay, well then I will leave it where it is. Okay, cool. Perfect. Just let me know if I need to adjust it or anything. As far as what the options are, well, there are many. Well, okay, I guess there's a bunch, but so let's see, what can we actually go ahead and do? Yeah, audio is the most difficult part about streaming, trying to get everything all balanced out. Yeah, that does seem to be the biggest issue. And then plus the way I have to do the audio is by switching on this one. I have to switch my audio device, and so it doesn't have a direct volume control. So I can only control the volume levels either through OBS or through like whatever applications, because this is like the desktop app. So I'd have to turn it up in, I'd probably have to turn the volume up in Spotify for this a little bit. So I guess we'll just kind of see how this goes. I'm just not used to it. Usually it's kind of blaring in my earphones, which is why it kind of threw me off. But barring that, so we could do a lo-fi day where, well, I guess it's always a lo-fi day here, huh? Very chill. It's not a high energy stream. But so let's see here. The question is, how chill do we want to be? Do we want to play, well, I guess, should I queue up a game? Should I just focus more on the music playlist and we vibe and just hang out and talk? Do I put you guys to sleep, or you know what, for that matter, not just sleeping, because I could kind of do different types of meditations, kind of like what I did in that other time, right? With the visualization and stuff like that. You're very awake, so you have no options. Of course you have options. You very much have options. I could make a list, put these all on a wheel, we can spin a wheel. It's kind of like Wednesdays are the go with the flow day. Like, what works with you guys? What do you guys feel? What are you feeling in the moment? You feeling comfortable? You feeling uncomfortable? Is there something you need to take a load off? You're not feeling well, want to feel better? Not that I'm offering medicinal purposes or advice or anything like that, but, standard blah blah disclaimer blah. I could even try making this even a more ASMR type stream for a change. Although I only have a limited number of triggers here. But there's stuff I can play with. You can have a huge sub tomorrow? Cool. Hey, what up 180? You've got opinions on opinions. I wouldn't say devil triggers. I love how all our audiences there's a lot of overlap and we all kind of hang out, pretty much around each other. At least a handful of people. So it's kind of cool like that. It's like, I know Saren and Lumi through Bez. And from hanging out over on Bez's channel, talking to them, and then, wandering over into their streams, hanging out over there. And then, we just kind of get to know each other and start making our way over and hanging out in each other's streams. Personally, I think it's a lot of fun that way. We all do slightly different stuff. See, and I think this is the whole thing about, having a circle of like friends, associates, or just fellow VTubers. I mean, I'd like to kind of develop into real friendships, but of course that takes time to develop those kind of relationships. But it'd be nice to have just a nice little tight group that we can do stuff together, hang out with, kind of like how I did my first collab with Lumi and Zeb over Valentine's Day. Doing more of those things. At some point. I am not so sure how I feel. I'd probably get utterly trounced if I tried to play Magic against Saren. So, I don't know. Well, plus also, I don't think there's a Mac port for that at the moment. But there are other things that we could do and play and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, but Magic Tourney win? Even when I play the physical... Well, okay, I've never actually played anything but the physical version of Magic. And yeah, I admit I sucked. Yeah, someone has to. Generally, those are all the people she plays against on stream. I think I've maybe seen her lose 4 times at best. Untapped. I'll have to take a look and see if there's a version that runs on Mac. Which also, if you haven't already, I mean, I think everybody here already knows and has probably seen Saren's stream at one point around there, but let's see, what was it again? I think I had it set up as was this it? No, it wasn't. Hey May, good to see you. How you doing? How was your stream? How How far did you get in the game? I was watching up until I started, so like pretty much up until about a half hour ago. There you go. You're like this close to finishing everything. But yeah, it looked really cool. It's like I kind of had you on. I was listening. I was mostly listening while I was working on, working on the bot code and everything. So I was actually kind of listening to like two different streams, you and Lumi at the same time, on basically on different monitors, different windows and stuff. So playing two utterly different types of games. So on one hand, it was mystery, intrigue, and kind of a little creepy over on Lumi's side, and then over on your side, it was really, well, I mean, you're playing a Metal Gear chain. You're, which one is that? Metal Gear, was that 3 or 4? I forget. I think it was 4, wasn't it? The one with Raiden? I actually forgot which version you were actually playing. And of course, watch, this is going to be from like...
That's kind of nice.
Years ago, right? Okay, Tetris. Okay, Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance. It's, like I said, I couldn't remember what version, which game version you were on and everything, or I should say which volume in the series. But yeah, I've actually never played that one. I think the last one I played was 5, Phantom Pain. But yeah, I do love that series. Your first? Oh wow. That's cool. That's very cool. But glad you're liking it so far. That's pretty on. That's awesome. See, May is actually another one of the people I was just talking about, that we just kind of hang out. I spend a lot of time in her stream. She is a great artist and she does a lot of cool stuff, and I am looking forward to using some of her assets on my stream. Like, once I get a body, I'll be like, hanging out with juice boxes in particular. So, but yeah, she does a lot of cool stuff. Definitely go check her out if you haven't already too. But yeah, her model's really pretty. She's done like all the work on it. She's done work for some other models that I've seen as well. Just, yeah, a lot of her stuff is just really, really cool. What's the last crepe gonna be? I don't remember what flavors you did so far. You did the chocolate. Actually, I've only so far seen, well, not the chocolate, and then what was the one that you had that you actually had out today? But I remember it was, I think it was green. I don't remember. Wow, I don't actually remember the exact color anymore. Or it had green in it. Matcha. Okay. Hey, cool. It was green. I'm not mad. Good to know. Matcha flavored. I haven't had a whole lot of matcha flavored anything. I mean, I had like some matcha tea. And I've definitely had, well, I tried making homemade matcha ice cream using like, the matcha powder that I had, and that was a bit intense. But beyond that, I've actually had like store-bought matcha ice cream, and it was much better than what I whipped together. So, I'm missing out, huh? Cool. Well then, I guess I'm gonna have to go ahead and try. The green tea ice creams. It is. It's a really cool flavor. Actually, I love green tea as well. I mean, right now I'm actually drinking hot barley tea. So, and again, I'm completely blanking on the Japanese name for it. But yeah, I'm sipping barley tea at the moment, as opposed to like the usual Earl Grey that I've been hitting up. Yeah, cold barley tea, my favorite. I actually like it slightly sweet. You know, just a little bit of sugar, just enough to take the bitterness out. But so yeah, like I said, I mean, I've spent a lot of time over on May's streams and just kind of hanging out and everything, and it's great to see her here too. But yeah, I totally understand, you know. Definitely, you know, go do what you gotta do, go decompress and everything. You just got off stream and everything, so I'm glad you stopped by and said hi. You know, if you feel like coming back later, I'll be over here, we'll be chilling out, you know the drill. So if you can, that's cool. If not, cool too, you know. Either way, you have a great night. And go take care of yourself, okay? Appreciate you. I totally appreciate you too. You are so awesome. Like I said, May is another one of the really cool peeps and stuff. And I think I am lucky that I have managed to, I guess, get surrounded by really cool streamers and VTubers. Come to think of it, they're mostly, yeah, no, they're all VTubers. But I am lucky that I have met such cool people since I've started. So, are you a cool streamer? Of course you are, Zeb. Zeb, you are an awesome streamer and a very cool person, and even if you want to admit to being a gremlin, well, okay, yeah, sure, you're a gremlin, but besides that, you very clearly and fiercely care about your friends. So, yeah. The lengths that you'll go to help people, and like I said, especially, you know, hanging out and being there for your friends and stuff, looking out for them. Absolutely. Just call you Ike because you do fight for your friends. So yeah. It do be like that. So let's see here. Hey Lumi, how are you? You get a chance to kind of decompress and relax after stream? I would ask how was stream. Well, I'm gonna ask anyway. How was your stream? I mean, I was there pretty much to the end of it and everything, but so just a little bit. Well, okay, I mean, I'm glad you had fun on your stream. It was a lot of fun watching you. Yeah, I was kind of busy putting, you know, trying to close out stuff and get ready to stream, and then I did hear about the monster fucking part, which, all right, let's face it, I think pretty much all of us on this stream are monster fuckers, or just even generally speaking, non-human avatars. Lumi's a fae, Zeb is an eldritch moth, Saren is a siren, Well, for all intents and purposes, I'm a ghost. You know, May is a bunny android. Go figure. You know. Also, Bez is a spider. Can't forget that. So it all kind of works out. I can just picture it now. Anybody coming into the stream now or watching this point of the VOD? Oh yeah, we're talking about monster fucking. Woohoo. Well, even humans are secretly dragons in VTubing. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Oh. What? Viking? Viking and Lolita? Hey, cool. Awesome, awesome. A little bit of a bummer that Cursor Bot got caught up in there, darn it, but okay. But thank you so much for the gift subs. That is awesome. That is really, really cool. Thank you so much, Lumi. I appreciate that. That is so cool. We're all just kind of in here chilling and everything else like that. So, which, you know, of course, by the way, Lumi, have you eaten and everything or anything yet, or how are you doing? Because you were on for a little while there. Are you all good? You know, again, you gotta keep looking out for the peeps. Of course. You know I gotta, you know.
Let me go.
Make sure you guys are doing okay. Oh, hey, look at that. The old model, the bunny. I love that random clip player. So, okay, cool. So you ate before stream, so alright, you're cool. But I mean, like I said, if you gotta step away and, you know, do what you need to and everything to relax and decompress and stuff, you know, just again, make sure you're taking care of yourself first. So above all else. So actually, I hope all of you guys are doing that, you know. Don't be self-sacrificing to the point where you're just falling apart and everything for the sake of trying to, like, you know, for the sake of somebody else. You are just as important. So make sure that you're, like, you know, eating healthy, getting enough sleep and exercise and whatever else that you need to do. So whatever the routine is, I'm not going to say do this, blah, 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 blah. Do what you need to do to, you know, stay healthy. Healthy both in mind and body. So, because, you know, mental health is a thing. Hang on, let me check something here real quick. Yeah, like I said, I was just kind of checking the volume levels because normally it sounds like it would be blaring in my headphones, so I usually have my headphones halfway off. Today I've got them all the way on, and it's still pretty subtle sounding, although it sounds okay on stream, so I'm not gonna worry about it. That's the most important part. Oh, and let's see here. Well, that's also kind of cool, because that means then that everybody here so far is not gonna have to worry about commercials or the ads or anything, so that's cool. Because I think the pre-roll is gonna cut off in about 5 minutes. So anyway, so I'm glad you guys are all doing good tonight and everything. So is there anything in particular you guys want me to do? Yeah, we all gotta worship Sashomaru. Yes, at some point or another, Sashomaru is the man. You know, I mean, Inuyasha's cool for a brat. Excuse me, sorry. So, you know something I actually haven't done either, now that I think about it? I have never actually... I think maybe once so far since I started streaming. There's maybe one time that I have actually done the whole kick back and watch/react to videos kind of thing. I mean, I don't normally do it, just mostly because when I see everybody else kind of doing it, it's always, well, frankly, something stupid looking. I'm not gonna lie. They usually tend to react to, and also, I guess it's like people following trends and stuff, just doing and looking at the exact same thing over and over. So I wound up seeing the same fails videos across like multiple streamers. And yeah, that's just something not my thing. Although, have you guys ever actually watched any of those, I guess you could, I mean, I wouldn't really call them ASMR, but just kind of those videos that they just kind of make you feel right or make you feel good because of like huge industrial processes or whatever, like, you know, kind of like giant assembly lines. I actually don't remember what they call them, but basically, like, you know, those kind of videos that just make you feel relaxed, or they make you feel orderly and calm because they're just doing something mechanically and just doing it all in a row and like on autopilot or something. Those videos are actually kind of cool to watch every now and then. Kind of watching something just lining up and just fitting together just right. I don't know why that is so satisfying. Yeah, videos that are just really satisfying to watch. I think that's what they're called. I don't know. Those kind of videos just seem really, really cool to me. But you know what? I should make a list of the things, because we keep talking about this, and I won't say that I'm rambling or whatever, but, well, I guess I'm kind of rambling. But some of the things that we can do today, we can do, Sleep stream. So pre-roll ads are on. Run an ad. You know what? I'm going to try an experiment. And it's not going to really affect any of us in here now because we're all subbed. Well, I should say you're all subbed. But I'm going to try running a 3-minute ad roll here just to see if it turns off the pre-roll again, since that's what it tells me to do. So I'm going to try running that right now, and let's see how that goes. Like I said, nobody here I think will see the ads. So that's all cool. So the pre-rolls are disabled for 33 minutes. I should check and actually see if I can, how that works with the snoozing the ads as well. Because, I mean, I'm not real worried about those. And, I mean, I'll leave them on, but I will only do them as minimally as I need to. So, options. We can do a sleep relaxation stream. We can do a play a random game. We can watch one of those satisfying videos that I was talking about, or I don't know, a few of them, whatever. We can do script and line suggestions. That's an option. There was something else I was just thinking about that I'd said, but I don't remember off the top of my head now. So what do you guys think of these? Hang on a sec, let me pull this up over here in OBS real quick. And fine, I'll make it a window capture for the moment because it doesn't need to be anything serious. And I think it's this one. Yep. So these are the things that the ideas I just written down, or typed rather. I actually need to go through and get a list of the games to play, but I think the games that I've got kind of off the top of my head. House Flipper. Oh, shoot. Let me just double check here. No particular, well, okay. Steam just does not want to respond at the moment. Such a pain in the ass sometimes, you know that? Dude. Okay, so what do we got? I got faster than light. So faster than light. I mean, I guess I've got American Truck Simulator, but that I would really rather have like a wheel for. But I'll list it. Faster than light, don't starve. And I've got the Don't Starve Together as well, which I think we mentioned before. And why is this grayed out? Have I just not installed it yet? I have not installed it yet. So Fantasy World Online, Tycoon. But then again, if I'm being anal, so Faster than Light, I'll still list it. Game Dev Tycoon, Golf with Friends, although again, that's key is friends, kind of like Don't Starve Together. I really need somebody to play with. House Flipper, I'm on observational duty. Although that's kind of a little bit more on the stressful side, right? Which part? I'm on the observation duty? Yeah. You're on my friends list. I thought you guys could pretty much see my entire game list. If I really wanted to geek out, there's Kerbal Space Program, but not sure about that one. Lucky Outpost, nope. Oxygen not included, I guess would also be cool. Project Zomboid and RimWorld. I mean, would you even consider Project Zomboid a chill game? I don't know. But yeah, so I've got RimWorld Project, yeah, and then what else? Slime Rancher. Come on, scroll down. RimWorld, Slime Rancher. Of course, Stardew Valley, but I wouldn't put that on the list because pretty much do this all the time. Let's see. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Steam, you're such a pain in the butt. So Terraria. I mean, I've got Transistor too, come to think of it. I haven't played that yet. But then there's also Turnip Boy. I forgot about that. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. And I don't know. Did Unrailed? Oh no, I didn't. Okay, fine. I also think that I can go ahead and play, what was that game? Potions? Potion Permit. I can play Potion Permit, off of Luna. I don't know what that's going to be like, with OBS, though. I kind of get the feeling that my frame rate would really take a nosedive. But I can list it and try it. So yeah, that's the basic list. Any other ideas or any other kinds of things you guys might want to see? Or is it just basically all good as long as you can just kind of sit here and vibe and just hang out and stuff? I could sit here and read the dictionary. Playing a horror game at almost midnight? But boy, do you want was the last time I actually played that? I know I've never played it on stream. So I don't know, how are the rest of you guys doing? Or have you all dozed off already? No, you're back you're back playing PvT and Eternal Return, huh? Gotcha. That's fine. Well then, I guess if I'm left to my own devices, what do I feel like doing? Come to think of it, there's something else that I haven't done in a minute either. I haven't gone and perused to see if there was anything. Oops. Man, everything is dragging today. Or it could also be that I've got a million windows open. Because you'd be interested in me playing RimWorld? You know, it's been a minute since I played RimWorld too, come to think of it. God, all those. I think out of everything on the list here, what I've played with most recently, or what I've played most recently, obviously, Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley, Game Dev Tycoon, and House Flipper are the ones I've played recently. I mean, I did try out American Truck Simulator for a minute, but a lot of the rest of these, you know, and I played a lot of Observational Duty a few months back, but the rest of these I haven't tried yet, or I haven't touched in almost a year at this point, I think. So it would almost be like kind of coming on them fairly new. Well, okay, there is that quest that I'm in the middle of on FTL from that last time that I played at Chat's behest. So I can always play that as well. That's another option. And then don't forget about these other things up at top either. Like I said, it all kind of depends on what everybody wants to see, wants to do and everything. But if everybody's just vibing, I mean, I could just kind of sit here and I can also sit here and do whatever. Like, a random letter. How about M? Mob, Mabel, Mabella, Mabe Pearl, Mableton, macabre, macadam, macanese, macaque, macaron, macaroni, macaroon, Macarthur, Macaw, Macbeth, Macbride, Macaroni, Macchiato, MacDonald, MacLeod, Mosrel, MacGuffin, Macado, Machete, Machiavellian, Machination, Machine, Machine Bolt, Machina, Mach, Macho, Mac Daddy, Mackerel, Machina, Mackle, McLaren, MacLeod, MacMahon, Macmillan, Macomb, Macpherson, Macrobiotic, Macrocephalic, Macrocyclic, Macrophage, Macular, Madagascar, Maddening, Maddox, Madeline, Mademoiselle, Moderno, Madge, Madhouse, Madison, Uncapped Subathon where you read the dictionary one. No, I don't know. Do you want me to keep going? Madison, Madium, Madman, Madness, Madre, Madrid, Madrone, Maduro, Madwort, Mabel, Mail, Maelstrom, Maeterlinck, Mafia, no, I'm not gonna say that. Magazine, Magda, Magdalena, Magellan, Maggie, Maggot, Magical, Magistrate, Magma, Magnalium, Magnanimity, Magnanimous, Magnesia, Magnesium, Magnetic, there is a lot of magnet type stuff. Magnifier, Magnolia, Magnum, Mahalab, Mahamaya, Mahatma, Mahdi, Mahjong, Mahler, mahogany, mahot, mahawang, mahi, maid, maiden, maidstone, Maiko, mailboat, main, mainstream, Myra, maisonette, Maitreya, maize, major, Makati, Macedonia, Maki, Makonde, Malassia, Malady, Malamute, Malay, Malaysian, Malcolm, Malberry, malefactor. Kind of. I was just kind of joking around with things to do. And I just thought I'd throw that out there as a dictionary reading. Shall I continue? Or was there something else you wanted to hear or do? Although in fairness, how does that sound? Kind of answering the whole question about, alright, so reading the dictionary. I just randomly picked M. It sounded pretty good to you, although you shouldn't let me get away with such easy content. Such easy content. Markova, Marlboro, Marlin. I mean, come on, easy content? Fine, I can do this. Marmite, Maroc, Marque, marriage, Marsala, Marseille, Marshall, Marshalaki, Martel, Martha, Martina, make the dictionary reading. Really? Okay, I hadn't thought of that. How dare you let people take advantage of you? Make the dictionary reading a redeem for the love of God? Really? Is it that serious? Martian, Martina, Martinez, Martlet, Marvel, Marks, Marianne, Mary Jane, Marzipan, Masala, Masbate, Mascara, Mascarpone, masculine, mashed. You could legit just listen to me read, but that's exactly why it should be redeemed. Well, I had thought of doing a spin the wheel kind of thing, or actually, I guess I could add this to the list. So, like, along with the script line suggestions, dictionary reading. I mean, I hadn't really thought of actually making it a redeem per se, but that's an interesting thought. But I guess this is just kind of turning into one of those chill streams where everybody's just kind of laid back and vibing and just hanging out and just listening to the music, listening to the vibes, probably falling asleep, dozing off, that kind of thing. I am happy to know that you would be more than happy to sit here and just listen to me reading. And my chair squeaking and everything else. Oops, shit, wrong mic, I muted, my bad. Fuck. Sorry about that. But yeah. Having the whole dual mic setup and everything, it does make this kind of more interesting at least. Matinee. Matriculant. Matsudo. Matterhorn. Matlock. Matzo. Malden. Is it a bad word? Whoops. Malman. Maureen. Maurice. Mari. Mausoleum. Maxipad. Maximal. Maximilian. Maximum. So sad that my custom lines have to be relatively safe for work. Criminally cheap redeem, and I want to abuse that. So are you saying that I should have someplace to put not safe for work redeems? Is that it? And I don't know. What about those lines like the one that I've been loving so far? The whole, I just love how you look covered in my indecencies. That's relatively safe for work, I think, isn't it? Yes, let you pay for not safe for work lines. Well, where would I put those? It can't be like this every stream. I'm just reciting lines today. I'm not even doing anything in particular. Reciting lines. Doing a little bit of word ASMR. Maybe I should change the... Okay. Maybe I should just go ahead and change the status. Change it to ASMR and put the tags up for reading ASMR. What do you think? Again, I have to remember I'm on the other mic, and I keep disrupting that. think at some point what I really want to do is set up a control panel where at least I can have it lit so I know which mic is active when I can't see the OBS mic controls. So I am so sorry for sitting there after going through all this and setting up the whole chill vibe and everything, and sitting there and cough, cough, hack, clear lung and everything on stream. Shit. And that's what I get for being slightly under the weather today. But, okay. You have permission to make Griso pay for his crimes specifically? Absolutely do. Permission to be a menace? Everyone's just listening to a squabble on Maine during stream. I mean, are we really squabbling? Is this really squabbling? Besides, I think everybody else is kind of vibing and just relaxing and just enjoying the whole thing. Fuck. Okay, I either need to stop using I either need to block the wrong button, the wrong mute button, or I need to stop using the dual mics because that has just messed the hell up. Everybody can hear me being hoarse on stream. Okay, I've covered all the other wrong buttons with like a notepad or something, so maybe that'll keep me from clicking the wrong mute button for a change. So again, I am so sorry about how scuffed that is. My bad. And I did it just in time to notice that I had two mics active. Right. Okay. But so anyway. So we've established I need a place to put the not safe for work lines. Can you even do recording redeems or something like that? I mean, I know that you're not supposed to use bits for something with monetary value, for example. So, like, purchasing a download, well, I don't know, purchasing a download for, with bits, would that actually count for that kind of thing? Oh, yeah, that's right. Custom lines on Ko-fi. I guess it's coffee, isn't it? Yeah, I could totally do that. I completely forgot about that. I mean, I could probably do it on Fiverr, but I think I'd rather, if I'm tying it to my streaming account, I'd rather just use my coffee. just simply because I've already kind of got that set up and stuff. Or but then again, I could also pre-record a whole bunch of stuff and have those also available on Coffee as well, couldn't I? But does Coffee... I should check that. Does Coffee allow not safe for work type stuff? Like the content being directly on there? I'll have to make a note of that. So yeah, I guess why don't I go ahead and change that? I'm gonna go try changing the thing to, I think I can try adding tags and stuff, since this is becoming a reading ASMR thing. Kind of fluxing between reading and chatting. Yeah, I know. So you know, I'm just going to add the reading ASMR tag, but I'll still leave the category as just chatting. Kind of as a compromise. So, because we're just kind of hanging out over here. So let's see here. I could skip ahead since I'm working in the ends. Let's skip ahead a few pages. Message. Mestiza. Meta. Metabolic. Metabolize. Metacarpal. Metacronus. Metacomputer. Metadata. Metafiction. Metal crafting. Metallic. Metallize. Metalloid. Metallurgy. Metalsmith. Metamorphic. Sorry, hang on. Forgot to click update. Meta-analysis. Metaphosphate. Metaphysic. Metaplasm. Metabolize. Metatarsal. Metaverse. Metclap. Metaxas. Meteor. Meteorites. Meteorics. Meteorgraph. Meteoroid. Meterage. Methadone. Methanol. Methane. methamine, methinks, methodist, methought, methyl, microblade, microblog, microbrew, microbiology, microline, microscopic, microdetector, microfiber, microfilament, microflora, microform, microfossil, micrograph, microlite, microlithic, micrology, micromanage, micrometer, micrometer, micron, Micronesian, micronize, microorganisms, micropathology, microphage, microphone, microplastic, micropump, microscope, microsensor, microsociology, microspecies, microspore, microtome, microtopography, microwatt, microwave, mid-afternoon, Midas, mid-Atlantic, midbrain, mid-century, mid-course, middle Scott, middle-aged, middle brow, middle finger, minestrone, minesweeper, mine worker, minge, minging, mingus, miniature, minibar, mini bike, minicab, minicom, mini dress, minigun, minimum, minimus, mining, minion, miniseries, miniscut, mint sauce, minute, minuscule, minute mark, Minutemen, meiosis, meiotic, Miquelon, Mirabelle, Mirabellite, Miracle, Miraculous, Miraculously, Miranda, Miriam, Mirror, Mirth, Misting, Mistletoe, Mistral, Mistress, Mistrust, Misunderstand, Misuse, Mitchell, Mitre, Mitregate, Mithras, Mithridatism, Mitigate, Mitla, Mitochondria, Meter, Meterwort, Mitten, Mitumba, Mixdown, Mixologist, Mixolydian, Mixtape, Mizoguchi, custom line redeem, huh? The Better Botter Tongue Twister? No, let me look that up. Hang on. I actually do not know it. Whoa, okay. Let's see here. You had it on deck and all ready for this, huh? Okay, hang on. Let me switch mic sets real quick. Okay, so that way. Let's see here. Okay. I am not going to practice it or anything else like that. I'm just going to, hang on. Okay, let's see here. Betty bought a bit of butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter, but a bit of better butter will make my batter better. So she bought a bit of butter better than her bitter butter, and she put it in her batter, and the batter was not bitter. Something like that. Although, am I supposed to say it faster? Read it too slow? Okay. Well, I mean, it's the first time I've ever actually read it at all, so. Betty bought a bit of butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, that's okay. Sorry. Oops. Shit. All right. Okay, let me try this again. Betty bought a bit of butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my butter. Okay. Jeez. Hang on, I gotta copy this over to someplace where it's not constantly scrolling. All right. Hey, wait a minute. That was just a word on the list. I just read it. Punishment. High-key punishment for mistress being on the list. Blame the dictionary. Don't blame me. I mean, there was a bunch of other things that I read. Right? But, alright, hang on. Betty bought a bit of butter. Wait, was that even right? Betty bought a bit of butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it'll make my batter bitter. So a bit of better butter will make my batter better. My batter better. So she bought a bit of butter better than her bitter butter, and she put it in her batter, and the batter was not bitter. How was that? I think that was like, what, 5 flubs? Oh my god. That is the first time I've ever actually seen this one. That is pretty wild. Thank you. Thank you. You can actually say it flawless. Make your redeems more expensive. You can buy them all at once and still have points left over. You can say it flawlessly. Oh, really? Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcome, Lemmy. I'm glad you enjoyed it. No, I believe you. That is going to stick in my head for a while. I'd better hide Betty Butter's butter before it becomes a bitch. Okay. You laugh, you lose, Twister, and Shots Edition. That was actually pretty fun. I haven't done tongue twisters like that in a long time. I probably need to practice them more. You know, loosen up the tongue and all that. And my tea just ran out, but I'm going to stick with the water for the time being. A twisting tongue joke. Well, there is that. So, was that a no to the reading? Or would you rather I read something else? Something like... Wait, did I read this one before? More engaging to read something that isn't just a list. Yeah, I mean, I just kind of wanted to see what you guys would think or do if I did that. I had no idea that saying something like mistress would be a thing. Or am I missing something here? Wait a second. I appreciate that you're down to listen to me reading anything. Hold up, you can't just... I'm not just saying shit. You guys are the one that had an issue with the word mistress for some reason. I'm not sure why. I mean, okay, it does sound kind of cool. Mistress. But what about it? Or, again, am I missing something here? Because I vaguely recall something about Lumi saying that everybody wants her to call them good boys and good girls. So is that it? Does Mistress Lumi need a break? It does, actually. It is the fricatives that just simply make it works well together. Mistress. Or maybe is it just the whole, yes, mistress? Is it that? Because it's not at all Zeb wanting to say, yes, Mistress Lumi. Is that it? Rude. But is it accurate? You can say that on your own. It is totally a... Well, okay, let's face it. This is exactly the kind of thing that we'd wind up just, the same things that we just simply do on voice chat all the time. Zeb, not safe. Whatever. Wait, hold up. I mean trying to kill you. I'm not doing anything. Oh, hey, Viking. Welcome, welcome. Ohio. And yes, you have been gifted a sub. Congratulations. And I'm glad you could make it. Glad you could drop in. Good to see you, dude. We are just kind of on here hanging out, messing around, doing a little casual reading, just kind of hanging out, just messing, just having fun. In other words, the usual. Yeah, we're acting a fool is what we're doing. Oh, hey, third. Third place goes to Viking. Nice. So, we're acting a fool. Today's a chill day. Zeb is barking. It's all coming together. Everybody's vibing. It all just works out. We're just here. Doing whatever comes to mind. Posture check. And hydrate. Okay, hydrate and posture check. So, straighten up and fly right? So, posture check. Actually, that actually works out pretty well. The whole thing about this chair is that I wind up leaning back a bit, and I kind of prefer leaning slightly forward or kind of being up straight because it keeps my back aligned, especially if I'm doing long streams like this. Or it's not even long, it's only been 2 hours so far, and the hydrate. You're trying not to make the stream incredibly sus. We're not really being sus here. We're not being sus at all. Isn't that right? Mistress. Today's stream was brought to you by the letter M, S, and T, and the word mistress. And the number 5. Holding back from so many custom line redeems. Lemon would be so terribly disappointed in you. I mean, what? You don't have any that's not safe? That's not safe for work? No, she wouldn't. She's too damn bad. Too down bad. For you. True enough, true. Fair. And again, calling her out when she's not here, darn it. But besides, what's a little down bad fun between friends? We're not being sus. We're very say-so here. If by say-so you mean only mildly degenerate, then yes, we're quite say-so. This is so sus you're sweating. Zeb, why are you sweating? What exactly have we done that's so sus here? I mean, besides kicking around a couple of M words. Mildly. And mistress. I mean, for real, it's I feel like, mistress mildly. Not capitalizing the first letter in every word for emphasis. I mean, I'm not doing anything. Well, all right. We've had this conversation. I get that. I get it. Okay, I'm not doing much. Deliberately. Is that better? Automatically +2 sus. Okay, this is fair. In this essay, I will outline exactly why I feel attacked here, right now. Right here, right now. I mean, it could be worse. It's like, I feel like I should just go ahead and switch to like the After Dark kind of view. Since we're chilling. Do not. I have done nothing besides my natural sus inclination. So wait a minute. What you're saying is voice +2 sus. Sense of humor +4 sus. So that gives me like an automatic +6 inclination to sus. I mean, even if I say something like troglodyte, pustule. Okay, that was fine. That didn't attack you. Good to know. Neanderthal. See? Piece of cake. So then what's the big deal then? Okay, so all those are perfectly fine. Then so what exactly is the problem with mistress? I feel like Jim Carrey from Bruce Almighty. Pleasure. Pleasure. Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Or like, what was that from Lion King? Mufasa. Oh my god, a level 2 sus tongue twister. I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. Wait, what does that say? I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. Wait, shit. I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. I am the pleasant pheasant plucker's son. But I will pluck your pleasant pheasant till the pleasant pheasant pluckers come. Wait, is that supposed to be the thing? That's where. Oh, okay. I am not the pleasant pheasant. I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. I am the pleasant pheasant plucker's son. But I will pluck your pleasant pheasant till the pleasant pheasant pluckers come. I should have taken a breath. The pleasant pheasant fucker. Funny. This is everything you wanted and more. This reeks of the let's do Chuck, but no. I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. I am the pleasant pheasant plucker's son, but I will pluck your pleasant pheasant till the pleasant pheasant pluckers come. I'm glad you're enjoying this. All right. I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. Oh. I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. I am the pleasant pheasant plucker's son, but I will pluck your pleasant pheasant till the pleasant pheasant pluckers come. I gotta wonder if I just let it roll, what the hell that would sound like. Oh my god. Because I am pretty sure exactly. No, I'm pretty sure exactly what would happen. I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. I'm the pleasant pheasant plucker's son, but I will pluck your pleasant pheasant till the pleasant I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. I'm the pleasant pheasant plucker's son, but I will pluck your pleasant pheasant till the pleasant pheasant pluckers come. Oh my god. You're so tempted to defend it. I'm in trouble. So I see. This is the stream where Lumi does me in. I get it. Wow, you got 9K? Damn. You've been banking. I see. Alright. You have work in the morning? Alright, dude, man. Thanks for stopping by. Glad you could come and hang out for a moment. So good to see you again. And have a good night and pleasant dreams. Thanks for chilling. Obligatory doing you in joke. So, Betty Botter's butter and the pleasant pheasant plucker. Or his son. Sorry for the sus. You are so not sorry for the sus. And that's fine. Neither am I. It just wouldn't be the same if there wasn't a bit of sus. Or other tomfoolery or some such thing going on around here. I see. Well, damn. Alright, hang on a sec. Well, alrighty. So the two of you are kind of in on this now, are you? I see how it is. Sexy syntax contains cunning stunts that stun with counts of kinetic scansion, disconnecting intuition, intense scanning of stunts and cunning. It's like that, huh? Sexy syntax contains cunning stunts that stun with counts of kinetic scansion, disconnecting intuition, intense scanning of stunts and cunning. Sexy Syntax contains cunning stunts that stun with counts of kinetic scansion, disconnecting, intuition, intense scanning of stunts and cunning. I don't know, maybe because it sounds technical. So that must be it. Still, though, that was something. Pleasant Pheasant again. Oh. Hey, Lolita. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. Thanks for the bits. Much appreciated. I'm glad you could join in. I am not the pleasant pet. Shit. I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. I'm the pleasant pheasant plucker's son, but I will pluck your pleasant pheasant till the excuse me. I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. I am the pleasant plucker's. I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. I am the pleasant pheasant plucker's son, but I will pluck your pleasant pheasant till the pleasant pheasant pluckers come. Okay, now I'm trying to keep a straight face while I'm saying this, and that is so not working. I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. I am the pleasant pheasant plucker's son, but I will pluck your pleasant pheasant till the pleasant pheasant pluckers come. Sexy Syntax contains cunning stunts that stun with counts of kinetic scansion, disconnections, intuition, intense scanning of stunts and cunning. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. All right, last time. I got this. User time with the S&C sounds overall, they roll off the tongue. This is true. Hey, welcome Raiders. Hey, how's it going, Rack? Good to see you, good to see you. How's your stream? You have come just in time to see my apparent demise. Welcome, Raiders. I'm glad you could make it. My name is Cruzeiro, and I am a variety streamer. I do a bunch of stuff, mostly cozy, comfy type streams, where we just kind of come, hang, chill. I play games, recite scripts, and just kind of do whatever strikes the mood. And right now, thanks to the smart idea of me having voice redeems, I am being tortured with tongue twisters. You were going to raid, but it went horribly scuffed? Really? I mean, I thought it showed that you just raided in. It seemed to be okay. But yes, I am doing well. How about you? Are you doing okay? Taking care of yourself properly? Let me go ahead and throw out a shout out, because in case anybody here does not know who Lousiest Raccoon is, Rack is a very cool streamer. She does play a lot of Genshin Impact and also does a bunch of art streams. And her Vroid looks really cool and she has a whole bunch of them. So her Vroids look pretty darn awesome. I think I've seen you at least have 3 different ones so far while watching you play Genshin. And that's aside from the one that you normally use. So very cool, man. That is awesome. So yeah, if you are not already following, if you have the chance, by all means, go check her out. She's got a few dozen different Vroids, so definitely go show her some love, drop her a follow and everything else like that. Alright, so I guess I will throw up and put on screen the torture devices with which I am currently being afflicted. So 1 second, let me just simply add that screen here real quick. So I am doing line redeems, and these are some of the lines that they have been dropping on me. So yeah. Bullying the streamer for bullying the chat. I have done nothing. I have not been bullying anybody. I mean, all I have done is just sit here and innocently saying the word mistress. And other such words, and I have no idea exactly why. There was another word, but apparently it wasn't today. I don't remember it. How dare? Mistress. 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 So there. I am so gonna pay for that later. But thanks so much again for the raid, Rack. Glad you could come in. If you need to relax, unwind, lurk, or do anything else, like go get a bite to eat or something like that, make sure that you take care of yourself and do what you need to do. Feel free to just hang and lurk if you want, and thanks so much for entrusting your chat with me. So yeah, glad to have you all. Feel free to just kick back and relax and oh wait, I keep forgetting what was the line apparently. So according to Lumi, that's my catch line or whatever. I need to work on that. So welcome to the chill zone. Feel free to kick back and relax and just enjoy your stay. Can't have shit in this house. I keep thinking of like some of the lines, like Joel. I was watching him a couple of times on stream, the past few days and stuff. And listening to him every time a raid comes in and everything, and it's like, and if you follow or subscribe, your penis will grow from here to here. It's like, okay, I see why he has so many followers. But it was funny actually hearing, I caught a clip of Cinder talking about his parents, talking about her parents and how they, how she mentioned Joel, and her mom was apparently all like, oh, Joel, Mr. From Here to Here, right? Yeah, who doesn't want a couple more inches? Yeah, I mean, hey. You know, I don't think most people would complain. But anyway. So yeah, we are actually just kind of kicking back, just chilling, talking about nothing in particular, just hanging out, doing voice redeems, and yeah, I had a couple of tongue twisters that I was kind of working on and stuff and trying to come up, but yeah. Okay, I said I'd try it one more time. All right, okay, so here we go. I am not the pleasant pheasant plucker. I am the pleasant pheasant plucker's son, but I will pluck your your pleasant pheasant till the pleasant pheasant pluckers come. Preemptive laughter. Yeah, okay, been stuck on that one. For whatever reason. Well, the first two were probably kind of rough. The last one I didn't have a problem with that much. So. You're welcome. I'm glad you had a good time. It was funny, and you know I'm gonna wind up practicing this later. Just because. Plus, I think it's good practice. I don't think I nearly say enough or do enough of these to kind of, well, again, keeps the tongue and lips loose, right? So, fun times, fun times. So, what else? What else could I do? What else should we do? Or what shouldn't we do? Maybe that's a better question. Then again, there are probably plenty of things we shouldn't do. But who cares? So, when is this? Oh, okay, I see. So, yeah. A couple of different things going on, and were there any other redeems you wanted to go ahead and try out? And let's see here. Oh, you know what? I suddenly realized, I'm like, okay, all of these are pretty interesting, but I think I've said most of these. But then I suddenly realized exactly which of these scripts that I'm reading. I'm like, okay, this is from that account. Yeah, I think I'll take a look and see about the other one. Hold up. Tumblr, of course, is being a pain. Okay, it's this one. I could read. Oh, okay, so these did this one, did this. Wait, what the heck? Okay. Okay, so these are all the ones, these are all Valentine's ones. So probably not these. Oh, also, we read a lot of these on Valentine's Day. Another tongue twister. Feel free to send me several of them. I will practice the crap out of them. Or, I mean, you've been holding yourself back. I know that from a lot of the redeems and stuff that you'd really want to do. So I guess I better go ahead and set up that coffee, huh? But let me see here. What's in... What is in script challenge? Let's see. Is there anything that hasn't come up in a minute? And oh, here's one by Atramentum. Let's see here. Okay, so how about this? Although, well, that's kind of a reversal, so maybe not. I guess I could take a look at Atramentum's page and see what he's got here. What's your under latest? Because these are all just top. Which a certain someone who shall remain not nameless is up at the, or was at the top up until about 2 seconds ago. I'm like so paranoid now about hitting the wrong button, the wrong mic buttons now. Having flubbed that 4 times already on stream. So this one is again geared towards lewd tubers. Tone is pouty, bratty, and seductive. Okay, wait, what is with all the the brat scripts? I don't know. A brat script? Well, yeah, people do. Well, people like brats. I suppose. There are a lot of brats and they have a bad rep. Well, I mean, I suppose they do. It kind of depends. You just have to have the right touch when you're working with brats. I don't think that I could pull off a pouty and bratty tone. I don't know, what do you think? Zeb, were your ears buzzing? Was that it? 2 seconds and you wandered and you're talking about brats? Wait, you'd like to see me try? A pouty, bratty. Okay. The tone being pouty, bratty, and seductive. Provoking your dominant partner to take control. Huh. This feels out of my wheelhouse. Practice your wine. Okay. Come on, it's late. You promised me we'd watch a movie tonight. We already paid the rental fee and everything. A few more minutes? You've been saying that for like 2 hours. You've already got bags under your eyes. You deserve to take a break. Didn't your client say that they were in no rush and take all the time you need and all that? Okay, fine. A few more minutes then. Oh, hey. Where's the save button on this program? Right there? Ah, so you save with Control S, like you just did it when you stopped to talk to me? Good. Carry on then. Oops. Uh-huh. That's right. I turned it off. That was awfully bad of me, wasn't it? I'm so naughty sometimes when a certain someone doesn't pay enough attention. And... Ow! You're being pretty rough all of a sudden. Grabbing my arm like that actually hurts a little. That's more like it. You're really fired up now, huh? Looks like I was a really bad boy this time. I guess you'll have to take care of that. And... No. Since you're picking me up, does that mean you're carrying me to the living room so we can watch that movie after all? No? You've got something else in mind now? Say it isn't so. Guess the movie's getting put off till tomorrow then. Yeah, I can totally see Zeb doing this. I can totally see Zeb doing this one. Me, like I said, that felt like a stretch. But I don't know. Was that even remotely convincing? The computer wins. It was cute. Yeah, I kind of figure. Which this is interesting because this one seems a little bit more in my wheelhouse, but I don't remember if I did this one or not. Hey, I know this is kind of weird to ask, but please hear me out first. We've been talking for a while, and I know we're nothing super serious, but I know we've had some pretty sexy fun together. And I really enjoy it every time, without a doubt. It's getting to the point where just casual conversation is enough to fill me with anticipation, and whenever we start to get flirty, my body starts to burn. Which is why now, with this new package in my hand, you're the only person I can really think to ask this. But when I open this toy, after I charge it up for the first time, would you like to play with it with me? It's one of those toys that you can control remotely. There's an app that you can get, so then whenever I'm online, you can connect to it, do things to it, and I'll feel every wait, hold it, what? And I'll feel every second of it. There's no one else I can think of that I'd want to have access to this. To be able to see whenever I'm online and know that when you have direct, intimate access to me, I want to look at my own phone and see the notification that you would like to connect to me. I know you keep telling me what you'd do to me if you were here, but now you don't just have to tell me. You can make me feel it too. So what do you say? Will you play with me for real? Well, that was a little different. I probably should have read that one ahead of time, but okay. About to lock your Tumblr down when you know Cariso's about to stream. I see. Yeah, I had looked and glossed over that a couple of times, wondering if I should read that or not and stuff, and from the looks of it, like I said, I should have read it closer. Well, yeah, now I did it. So fine, live on main in 4K. It is true, I did. So I guess for all of you out there who are completely into the Uke and Seme, you're welcome. This is why we don't sit on Spicy Zeb Tumblr. I was in Script Challenge, and this one came up, and oh, yeah, it is actually from that side. There you go. No, I was on your Spicy Zeb Tumblr a minute ago. I actually forgot that was where I'd read this one from. And like I said, I didn't read it closely enough, so Shazam, there you go. I noticed that a lot of your scripts kind of come up in the top rankings in Script Challenge, by the way. Or it could just simply be tailored to me. So there you go. I am just reading from Twitter Script Challenge. And that came up. But what if I go by latest? So, you know, it's actually kind of funny. Even Twitter bullies you. I like that. Even Twitter bullies me. Well, well, well. If it isn't the consequences of your own actions. Listen. Yes? Well, hey, if it makes you feel any better, I mean, that last script that I just read was an interesting twist, so BL Unite. You know, it's actually kind of funnier, although I try not to pay attention to like the viewer numbers and stuff like that. There were more viewers on and listening and hanging out when I was reading from the dictionary than, I guess, when I started the sus stuff. So isn't that interesting? So I don't know, maybe I should have just moved on to Q. But that's okay. This was just a chill hangout kind of deal. Although, I don't know, I mean, I still can go ahead and play another game, you know? I don't, maybe bots, just do what you like. True enough, and you certainly don't have to tolerate us playing around if you don't want to, for sure. Okay. Real talk here. First of all, I do not tolerate either of you. I don't tolerate you one single bit. I personally have fun hanging out with the two of you. And everybody else who comes in and hangs out on chat as well. So, you know what? There's no... It sounds weird, but there's no tolerance. There's no tolerating here. I do it simply because I like to. I hang with the two of you, and I specifically wanted you two in my inner circle because I like you guys, and I enjoy having fun with you. So hey, I get a kick out of when you actually wind up on my streams and everything, so... And the fact that you come in here having a great time as well, that's perfectly cool with me. Everybody else who wants to come in and join in and have a ball, by all means, come join us, have a great time, and let's just hang and vibe. And that's the whole beauty of it. It's kind of like what I said a little bit earlier. When I'd first kind of gotten on stream, when Saren was hanging on, and then when, like, you know, when May came in, I am enjoying And I consider myself lucky that I have gotten to know such cool people like you guys. Cool people, great streamers, awesome VTubers. And the fact that we can just hang and have so much fun and stuff. And how all of our different audiences, it's like we kind of share audiences and everything. So like it's like almost like, I won't say everybody knows everybody, but there's a whole lot of cross-pollination here. So yeah. I would never call it me tolerating you guys ever. So, and the way I look at it is anybody who's enjoying the vibe is more than welcome to come in and hang out and stuff and just chill as well. You know, I perfectly understand if we're being a bit sus and everything, and if, you know, people are feeling uncomfortable with it and everything, okay, you know, I understand and I appreciate it if it's just simply not what you're vibing with and everything. If you decide to go ahead and peace out for a bit, that's cool. Yeah, it's all good. Don't be afraid to take charge of my stream. I don't recall ever not being in charge of my stream. I mean, I go with the flow a lot, sure. You know, but hey, in the end, it's my stream. I'm the one who's like, you know, pretty much like going with it and just running with it and egging people on. I know, of course we're all good. At least I think so. There's no problem on my end. And I know that you care about the vibe. We've talked about this before. You know where I'm coming from. You know, like, you know, my goals and everything else. So yeah. And here's the thing, I don't mind being sus. I mean, I don't know that I would ever necessarily be a lewd tuber, just simply because of the fact that I don't think I'd really attract much of an audience being a lewd tuber. But there are some times when, sure, I can go ahead and break out the sus. I think it's a lot of great fun and everything. If everybody on the chat or if everybody's like, you know, having fun with it, that's all good. I don't mind whatsoever. I mean, we are all adults here, right? Raise your hand if anybody here is under 17. Or under 18, rather. I'm gonna try this. Snoozing the ad does nothing to stop the pre-roll. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna see what happens if I actually roll them. I'm gonna try rolling a 1 minute ad here real quick. To see what that does to the pre-roll timer. Oh, this is interesting. So if you run a 1 minute ad, it pauses the pre-roll. It turns the pre-roll off for 21 minutes. If you do a 3 minute ad, it pauses the pre-roll for 33 minutes. Huh, interesting. Don't tell people to do that. People really do hang out. Well, yeah. So yeah, I want to hear from you. If you are if you're under 18 right now, knowing full well that this is an 18 over stream, I want to hear from you. Go ahead, pipe up. Yeah, I know I'm not allowed, but then at the same time, it's like, okay, so people who do actually pipe up, just, they get auto banned real quick. I mean, I've already got a feeling. I know that nobody here is actually under 18, but at the same time, yeah, this is a mature stream and stuff. So yes, if you are not supposed to be in here, I expect that you will bug out pretty quickly. But besides that, so let me see here. We are coming up on 2 hours and 52 minutes. So I am just about to hit the 3-hour mark. And wow, I've actually managed to kind of go pretty much the entire stream not talking about a whole lot. We came, we hung out, we vibed. That's the most important thing. We vibed again. So, it'd be weird to start up a game right now, wouldn't it? Oopsie. What the heck is that doing? I mean, sure, I still could, but I mean, number one, if I start playing a game, I know that I'm going to wind up getting caught up on it, or caught up in it. And, that would go for a while. Or I could go ahead and at the 3-hour mark, more or less call it, since we've just been kind of on, hanging out. This has actually been more come hang out with the friends stream, and sharing that vibe with everybody else who's kind of come in and come out and everything, which I totally appreciate everybody who's rolled through. I always appreciate everybody who comes by and, hangs out however long or short that is. Even if you never say a word and you're just kind of, lounging in the background and just chilling and everything. That is perfectly cool and fine by me. Oh, you know what? That actually kind of reminds me. So, because I was just kind of glancing at the viewer list in Chatterino for a moment. So I got kind of curious, right? And I started looking at, where is it? I got kind of curious about the people who had kind of rolled through and stuff. And I saw some interesting names in chat, and I kind of was looking at a few of them. And there was one whose tag essentially said that they were an AI generated streamer created to be an experiment. They're not on at the moment, but they were here all of stream yesterday and stuff, and they lurked and stuff even after stream. So I thought it was pretty interesting to kind of see. It's okay, so they are an AI. What are they doing here? I mean, have I corrupted the machine learning on an AI streamer? Is this going to be like, the next Sama coming up and stuff? And is she just gonna sit there and make jokes and make references to Mistress? Well, although technically that was yesterday, not today, so that doesn't really matter. That wouldn't really count, but even still. So I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting. And there were also some, I don't know if they're bots or not, to be perfectly honest. I just still thought it was just kind of an interesting thing to note and see. Just the different people and stuff who are on there and everything. I mean, I'd like to think that a couple of them weren't bots, they were actually real people. Like, I'm a real boy. But, I mean, if they were, they were. If they weren't, then that's cool too. It's nice to see people who I'm not familiar with coming in, hanging out, and vibing in the channel. And again, everybody's welcome to come by and say hi and everything else like that. Oh, you know what? That reminds me, I need to actually start working on some emotes, shouldn't I? I need to start throwing those up. Or doing something. The deceased for real, for real? No, of course not. Of course not. Besides, you know I saved the best bullying for off stream. You need T and G. You need T and Jesus. I actually watched a collab briefly the other day. I don't remember exactly who was on completely, but I do know that they were collabing with RNGesus, and everybody else was kind of like, hollering up, and he was just kind of, I swear, he was just kind of off to the side watching everything, which I thought was pretty interesting. I mean, I've seen him on other people's streams, like in their chats and everything, but I thought that was actually kind of an interesting thing, watching him in an actual collab for a change. So, but anyway, Angelic Perpetual can even decease an Eldritch Moth. Well, I don't know, because apparently this Eldritch Moth is weak to the word mistress. Must be the way it rolls off the tongue. Who knows? But can you imagine Jesus walking around with like a big giant like butterfly net, flying around saying, "Mistress, oh mistress, mistress," trying to catch Zeb. Anyway, So we are at the 3-hour mark. It is 12:30 my time. I know some of you it's much later, and then again for a lot of others it's way early, but I am thinking that I'm gonna go ahead and cut this fun off here at the moment. And I'm gonna probably hang out in voice chat for a little, well, okay, I really mean it, for like a little bit. I'm not gonna go more than, I am really not going to go to more than an hour. So, mostly because I need to go ahead and be up in the morning and all that other neat stuff. So, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off right about now. First of all, thanks everybody who came in and stuff, who came, hung out, chilled, had a great time with you all. I hope you guys had a good time too. And if you liked and everything, feel free to drop me a follow, come by. I'm not going to go ahead and promise that you'll go from here to here, like a certain somebody, but you know, we have fun here. We're pretty chill, we're laid back, and like I said, we're mostly comfy and cozy, with a little bit of sus dashed in here and there, you know. Thank you so much, Lousiest Raccoon, for the raid. I really appreciate you coming in and entrusting your chat with me, and I hope you guys, again, had a good time, enjoyed yourselves. Thanks to May and everybody else coming in. Thank you, Lumi, for the gift subs. That was a whole lot. I appreciate you so much for that. As well as thank you again also, Lolita, for the bits. I'm so glad to hear from you. Thanks. Glad you popped by and everything. And I will apparently need to work on those tongue twisters more to keep the lips and tongue loose. Maybe I need them to be looser. Whatever. Anyway, thanks again so much. I appreciate you all. And I will talk to you guys all again real soon. Tomorrow, just as a real quick, update, in case anybody's watching the VOD or anybody else catching the last minute, tomorrow we will be finishing up the final 2 chapters of Kirin Rise, The Cast of Shadows. So that will be an actual reading stream. So I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, and until then, I hope you guys stay chill and stay calm and relaxed. And have a good night.